Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 23. A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Two times.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The shotgun snap for Stafford. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Stafford on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Running from the gun, Johnson. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing is Cousins. Being chased out left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Deshaun Hand able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. But now it's 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
We often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. The first down carry here for Johnson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Set! Yellow 80! Yellow 80! Hey!
On 1st and 10, Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Stafford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Watch the run. Watch the run. baby. That's a baby shot. Hey, switch gears.
From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got Curse. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 25 yards that time. On first down, Stafford here. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
A running play on first down, and it turns... into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. Alert flare.
A toss to Cook. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of it.
A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Mike, let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Hey, who we got? 35 to Mike.
Following the interception, Cousins. It's caught in the end end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr., his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 14-0.
14. Lions, nothing.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's get that ball,
From the gun, a run for Johnson. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Hey, 22!
From the 38, Stafford completing it to the right side. Johnson. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Check Mike, check Mike.
C.J. Anderson in the game. He gets it here. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Hey, watch it. I think I'm 48.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Cook on the toss left. Oh, he shifts past him. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Now, that's not a call you see every day. A toss play inside their own 10-yard line. Takes a little bit of brass right there, and they're able to get a little bit of yardage.
Check. Hey, exit. Wait, hot.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Let's go, baby.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Go. 55, Mike.
Out of the gun, Stafford. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. There he goes, right side. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Let's go, folks. They order 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's
First
go.
down, Minnesota.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They run again on first down. Cook. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
Easy work.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, orbit.
Now Cousins. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 27 yards there, a first down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Mike 35, Mike 35.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
And the Vikings first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On the carry, it's Cook. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 15.
Yellow. Back. Watch out. Deuce. Kill.
From the gun, here's Cousins. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of the half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock down and go to the locker room.
The grab made by Curse over the middle. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Check. 180. Check. 55 to Mike. I got you, son. Hey, check mine. Watching you. Omaha, ready to move.
From the 50, Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check like 40. 40's the mark. Squeeze. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
The final shot before the break. Stanford. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 7.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. The shotgun snap for Stanford. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
And plays like exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Operating from the gun, Stafford. He gets it left side to Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the pass.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Stephen Weatherly. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Get in the weight room. 59! Hey. Mike 54. Man, I got you. Hey, one set.
From the gun, Stafford. That is caught at the 7. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Ready? Blue 60. 54 Mike. Danny. Hey, easy.
They'll run for it with Anderson. Power on power, but he's not going to get in. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
It's 3rd and goal.
54. Middle.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And he fires one, but incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Again, it's Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Alpha. Yeah. Slam. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Listen to me.
Working out of the gun, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. You got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing is Stafford. Steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch 54. Watch the run. They're running it. 21.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 20. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Cousins now. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
It doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out, and the Lions have recovered.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there, and Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Ben Gideon, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now a play fake and it's Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Play action. Stafford escaping the pressure right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Hey. Omaha, ready to move. 140, check, he's coming. Smooth. 65. 40's Mike. Go on.
Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
He's not going to get me. Hey, high 7. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins.
Now Cousins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Here we go. Check 52 is the mark. Check that.
3rd and long for Cousins. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it, but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and it's 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, Let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a pickup of 8 yards to move him into a 3rd and 13 here. To throw is Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's James. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Johnson, and he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one.
Let's hit him.
They start the drive with Cook. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 35-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Cook. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
A loss of 3 yards brings up 4th down.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Vikings, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here.